Good evening. Welcome to the meeting of the Sandwich Historic District Committee on this January 9th. My name is Peter Williams. I'm the chair of the committee. In reviewing applications, the committee will consider, among other things, the historic value and significance of the building, the general design, arrangement, texture, material, and color of the features, and the relationship of such features to buildings and structures in the immediate surroundings. This meeting is being streamed on SCTV website and on the local Channel 9. It is being recorded and will be available on SCTV website starting tomorrow. The name of this committee is the Sandwich Historic District Committee, but it can be considered a misnomer at times. Our primary mission is the protection of our historic structures, but we also serve as an architectural review board in the historic district. So if your home is not in the historic, you are here as part of our architectural review board function. Also, while we may move swiftly through the calendar, please be assured that we've reviewed all of the applications carefully. Applications will be heard in the order they are published in the agenda, followed by continued applications. Anyone aggrieved by a decision of this committee may, within 10 calendar days, appeal the decision to the Regional Commission by obtaining a form from the Planning Department in the new Town Hall. On my right, we have Mariam recording the meeting and showing us what's being presented. And I will now take a roll call of the committee members. Mike?
Here, Mike Sullivan.
Diane DeLeo here.
Corinne Ritter here.
Thank you. We have 4 members who will be voting tonight. And would you make the motions, Mike?
Sure.
Corinne, would you second the motion?
Yep.
Thank you. I believe that brings us to our first item on the agenda, number 24-201, Chris Wilson, front door color change on Jarve Street.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hi,
everyone in the
Chris.
public. Hello, the board. Nice to see you again.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Would you please pull the microphone closer?
Sorry.
Thank you.
My name is Morel Horta. I do have a small architectural firm here in Sandwich. You have seen me before. Here is Mr. Chris Wilson. He is the owner of the property in question. And we would like to present to you a small modification to the front door, the color of the front door, but at the same time, even though it's not, I would say, in the purview of the committee, I wanted to show the different colors so you can get the context of the change. Because it is, if we change the color of the door and we don't change the color of the building, it's actually kind of strange. But I wanted to present this, Mr. Would you like to say something? Sorry,
Lips. Sullivan?
So this house is a former mansion, originally created in 1881 by George Drew, gentleman from here, from Sandwich. He created this as his own home. Was built as a mansion, as his own single-family home. He actually perished 14 years later, and then the house was actually taken over by the church, and it became the rectorate of the church. The colors of the house ever since have, I guess, changed through history. And then in 1995, if I'm correct, it was turned into, it left the church dominion and went to a private ownership, and it was turned into an inn. So Mr. Wilson here, got my services, or he actually asked me to see what we could do to enhance the property. And I did deep research as knowing who George Drew was, what his intention was, and how the design of the house came to be. So the idea of, the colors of a property, of changing the pink into a darker, so to a black, and into the house from a beige to a degree into white, I think is to bring back the grandeur and the proportion of the house. If you go into see the main facade, it's something that I can show you. If you see the fish scales, for example, on the top, those are pink currently, but if you paint them black, then it creates a datum line between the fish scales and the actual roof on the other side. So that was the original intent of the property. So when I approach this property, is with all the respect in the world, with trying to make the property go back to the grandeur that it used to have as a mansion, and trying to bring the property back into what it used to be. And
Excuse me for a second.
Go ahead, sorry.
Please. Miriam, will you scroll to the first page? First page. Change color of front door.
Yeah.
You're doing more than that.
Yeah, but the color black and white are actually exempt from the committee, from what I learned. You can change the colors of a property as long as they're black or white without the previous approval of the committee. But out of respect for the committee, I felt that it was important for me to show you what the intent of a property going forward is. Just because, even though I'm not requiring an approval for black and white, I want to show you the whole idea behind it. And I felt that was important.
The red would be somewhat incongruous with the pink, wouldn't it?
Correct. So if I show you a red door in a pink building, it's like I'm opening an ice cream shop. But if I show you a red door that is actually heritage red, which is a historical color, it actually brings back, it's hard for this house that is so complex in the facade to actually find the door. If you look at even the pink side, it's actually kind of challenging. So, and I also show you the side elevation, even though it wasn't part of a purview. I just wanted to show you what we're trying to achieve.
I'm not aware that you can change to black within the bulletin. You can change to white. I'm not aware that you can change to black. I could be wrong, too.
Yeah. Also, I wasn't aware either. I actually run it by the Miriam, and she actually stated to me that that was part of the normal procedure here.
What? Ah.
Do I have my bulletin? Yes, here it is.
White, black for shutters and window trim.
Okay.
Okay? But that's not shutters and window trim.
Well, that's gables.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's,
on the other hand, look, it looks good. Don't misunderstand me.
No, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible.
But
Very often.
usually we have to go by what you've asked for.
Yeah.
Propose an amendment.
Yeah, amend it.
yes.
Yeah. We can amend the application to include the other changes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well spotted, Mike.
Any other questions from the committee?
No questions, no?
Any questions from the public? We have a motion, Mike?
Make a motion to approve application 24-201 as amended to permit the change of the pinkish part of the building to
Black.
dark part of the building, black, specifically black.
And the grey siding to white
Where's that?
The siding. she's
siding.
Changing it to white.
Okay, and that too.
Okay. We have a second for the motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
You're
Much
welcome.
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Next item, Town of Sandwich, 24-202, the new sign and light fixtures.
Denied.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brian
evening.
Schlegel from the Town of Sandwich, Massachusetts, representing the Administration Office. They had requested to put up a new sign in front of the building, and also a light above the town seal that's on the front of the building. So the town seal lighting, we were looking at this proposed fixture, and we would like to put it at the peak of the front of the building so that it would shine down, there would be no uplighting, We chose white so that it would blend in with the facade of the building and you wouldn't really see it. It'll be on a timer also with the front light, so it won't impact the neighborhood. It'll be out by 10:30, like the regular lighting. They had also requested permission for a new sign out front. You'll see multiple pictures for it in the front of the building and on the side of the building. They weren't 100% sure if they wanted to put it right on Route 6A where the old bank sign was or on Tupper Road. They wanted to get the sign there and kind of position it with the contractor if it was approved, just to see where the best location would be. We don't want to block traffic on Tupper Road, and
Sure.
they just wanted to kind of locate it that way. So they didn't really have an exact position just yet. We just wanted to run that by the board to see if it would be acceptable if we put it in either location.
Sure.
Does this meet the dimensional requirements for the town sign ordinance?
According to the building inspector, I believe it does. They had reviewed all this before we put the packet in.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions from the committee? Any comments from the public? Questions?
I just want to be clear that, Miriam, go to the first page again. Okay, hold on a second. You sign. Yeah, the application is to have the sign placed where the bank sign was.
Right.
That's what they had asked for. They didn't know if they really wanted to put it there. They wanted to see where it looked best. That's where we originally wanted it. But
was
then
that?
they thought it might be more appropriate on Tupper.
It was on.
But they wanted to try both locations with the contractor there, but it would be up to the board on where it was placed.
We have a new heritage tree sign there too, don't we?
Yes, on the opposite
So
side.
you want to keep it away from that?
Yes, so we were going to be on the side where the light fixtures are and the sidewalk going up were. And the heritage side was on the opposite side.
Well, it's a nice sign, but you're asking us to approve it, and we don't exactly know where it's going.
At this point, I would honestly say on Route 6A where the original bank sign was.
Fine,
Okay.
great, thank you. Come back if you want to move it. Motion?
Please.
Make a motion to approve application 24-202 as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Next item, 24-203, Selmayer Family Trust, an addition at 111 Knott Avenue.
Hello. Hello. I'm Elaine Selmeyer of the Selmeyer Family Trust, and we are proposing a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom addition over our existing 2-car garage. We're going to keep the same siding, the same shutter color. The roof color is the only thing changing. That will go black. Right now, it's kind of a tanny beige color. So that's the only color change we're proposing.
And that will be the same on the main house too?
Yes, we're going to do the whole roof. Yep.
Explain to me about the siding.
So if you can go back to the pictures, so the siding is kind of a mix of clapboards and shingles. I would like to do all shingles, like the natural ones that weather to gray, and then on the addition, and then eventually do the whole house that.
Do you have a time frame in mind?
We'd like to start as soon as we
I
possibly
mean, to
can.
complete the whole house?
Oh, I see. Within the year. Yep.
That's reasonable.
The house is only officially a 1-bedroom now, so we're a family of 4. So
Bedroom.
Need the space?
yes.
Yeah, a bowling alley.
Any other questions?
Is the addition, is the roof higher than the existing?
It is, yes. There'll probably be a 7 to 14 inch height
Okay.
differential.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the public?
Make a motion to accept application 24-203 as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 24-204, Allison and Blaze Laporte.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
I'm Blaise Laporta, one of the owners of the house, along with my wife Allison. We're both also architects, so we have a interest in keeping the house, in proper order. But we also want to be able to make some of it a little bit more functional for our family. As the application lays out, we want to turn the kind of unheated, windowless room. It's not windowless. There's a couple of windows, but into a room that we can really use and enjoy the backyard a little bit easier. And to do so, there's a little shed that was added at some point. It's not attached. So it has the remnants of a concrete pad for a boiler or a oil tank. I believe that's when it was added. It's hard to tell from the photos, but you can actually look between it and the house. There's a little,
Oh, yeah.
so it's not attached.
Excuse me. You're planning on removing that shed that's on the back
Correct.
and using the existing shell.
Yes, yep.
So you're going to put windows in 2 walls and,
Yeah, we're adding windows along the back in elevation number 2 there. There's an existing window above the shed already that's actually just a storm window. There's no real window in it. So we're going to add to that. And then the other part of the project we're hoping to do is to replace the casement window that's above the sink with 2 double hung windows to match the light patterns of the house more closely.
and the appearance of the door from the exterior is going to stay the same.
Yes, right. That is the other part on the elevation number 1, and you can see it in the middle up there. That vertical board door is sort of just a giant shutter, and on the inside of that currently is just a screen door. So the idea is that we're going to take the screen door out and replace it with an insulated door so that we can actually use that.
Very
space.
good.
Yeah. But we'll keep that one there.
Keeping the red door, yeah. That's nice.
Trend, yeah.
Oh, that one is actually green on the side. The red door is on the shed on the back. Yeah.
Yes, but you're relocating it, are you?
We hope that we'll relocate it. We're not really sure what we're going to do with that shed. It's standalone, so we can just hopefully pop it up off the ground and roll
Right.
it over,
Okay.
which we would come back to figure
So
out.
the shed, that middle picture at the bottom, that's the shed in question, right? With
Correct.
the red door.
Yes.
So that's going,
Yes.
and the structure behind it is now going to have a row of
Yes.
4 windows,
Yep.
is that correct? And then the shed is, what's going to happen to the shed? Did you say you're going to?
No, we're going to put it into our garage for now, and then we might try and use it somewhere else on the property.
You want to use the red door
Yeah, ideally we would keep it as it is, but just place it somewhere else.
somewhere else? Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a little problem here. What you're asking for is to demolish the shed.
Yeah.
Now you're saying you'd like to keep it. The shed does not meet the rules for it to be exempt. Theoretically, you want to put the shed somewhere else, you have to come back
Yeah.
and ask for permission to do that.
Right. No, I was just answering your question that in the future we do think that we would like to use it. For the purposes of this meeting, we're saying we're just removing it. We're going to put it like inside of our garage for now until we decide if we can even get it up without ruining it.
Okay.
So you're not extending that gable end? You're not having to dig a new
Correct.
foundation or anything?
No. Yeah. And this is all off of the back of the house, so it's not visible from the street except for, you can see from the top right image is the view from the street. You can see the side of it. The back is really, not visible from any.
You know what year the shed was built?
I'm not sure.
Is it original back with the time of the house?
I don't believe so.
You thought it was when the oil heat was installed,
Yeah,
perhaps?
yeah. It's difficult to tell. There's 2x4, real 2x4s. They're not, rough hewn, and they're not the 1 5/8 by 2 7/8 kind of deal. They're the real 2x4s in there.
Had a bad experience recently with sheds.
Oh, no.
Gotta be careful.
That shed was a misnomer. Any questions from the committee? Any questions or comments from the public?
I'd just like to say, I do like the new design.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Make a motion to accept application 24-204 as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, 24-205, Pleasantwood Homes LLC, a new build at 21 Seneca Lane.
I'm Dan Masters from Pleasantwood Homes. I'm the builder and the owner of the property too as well.
Okay.
Can't see much. There we go.
Right there.
There we go. Looks fine.
Yeah. It's a nice-looking home.
Thank you.
Perfectly appropriate.
Any questions from the committee? Comments from the public? We have the motion.
Make a motion to accept application 24-205 as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
I like the look of the back of that one. I thought it was really sharp.
Next item, 24-206, Sarah Kuick, new build at 2 White Cap Path.
I like this one. It's really cute.
This is in the conservation.
You don't like it?
Right.
Doesn't feel
No.
cute, though.
Why do they bring the boxes? It scares me.
I can't see any reason why I can't.
Yeah. Reminds me of, there's, a couple houses
Scroll down to the
side,
rendering.
another cape,
Nope.
which is,
That's a lot.
I know,
Mhm.
tiny.
See the rendering.
No.
Yeah.
It's funny,
Good evening. My name is Jerry Durr. I'm from JWD Design, the architect for 2 White Cap Path. And this is Wesley Price of WD Price, the general contractor.
Good evening.
In the rendering, which will face the street?
The west elevation is what faces the street, in this case,
Bottom
Freeman
left.
Lane.
Can you blow it up or do something? West elevation, west.
The west elevation,
There we go.
Yep.
And that's a 2-car garage?
you can park below the structure.
Okay.
It's open air. There's horizontal boards, panels between the piers on the lower level, where you can park 2 vehicles.
So most of the architectural interest is not visible from the street.
Correct. It's I don't know if you've been to the site, but it's down a path.
yeah.
Not quite visible from Freeman Lane, but from the path itself,
Sure.
you can see the structure. That's the site there. It's a vacant site currently.
It's pretty buried away.
yeah.
I would have some problem with the appropriateness if it were not buried away. It's not very attractive, but not very visible either.
Yeah. And I did go through the neighborhood several times, the last of which was today, and I found a lot of similar detail, a lot of shiplap, a lot of board and batten design. So it's in context with a lot of the neighborhood, both on the path itself as well as along Freeman Lane.
Okay.
Excuse me, what was the roof? Is that a metal roof?
The preferred choice in the application is a standing metal seam roof. Actually, the metal shingles? I'm sorry, the metal shingle roof. Our client's very interested in low maintenance, durability.
The shingles or the strips?
The
The
shingles.
shingles, okay.
I have samples here if you take a closer look.
Well, it's town neck, so you can find pretty much anything. I don't particularly see many structures that look like this from the road. I live there, by the way.
Okay.
But it's town neck.
Karen?
I was going to say, Miriam, could you go to the floor plan for a moment? Thank you. So the top is the side that would be oriented to the road, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I can see why the windows are minimal to maximize the small footprint
Yeah, whatever.
on that side.
Right.
Mhm.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? Any questions or comments from the public?
Whoops.
Please step right up there.
Thank you very much. Attorney Gabrielle Hunter-Enzer for the Sandwich Shore Condominium Association. This dwelling will be located within the condominium association, and there are a few issues that the board has with the proposed dwelling. Most specifically, it is proposing to put in an above-ground septic tank. The board members feel that this would be an eyesore, aside from the environmental issues that it raises, and we wanted to bring it to the committee's attention. Additionally, this is a rebuild of a building that was destroyed in about 2018, and this rebuild would expand the footprint into the common areas of the condominium association, as well as encroach on adjoining buildings. And so, you know, the association ultimately objects to this and would like to bring these issues to your attention while you're considering the application.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is within our...
That would be building department.
May I speak to that, or is that necessary?
I'm just asking the chairperson if these factors are within our area of
The
consideration.
only issue before us is whether or not we approve the design of that house. Anything else is some other committee.
And specifically
coastal
how it appears from the...
Coastal Commission has this, and the
Conservation, yes, it's in
Conservation Commission has it, and they're doing their thing with it. But that's their thing, not ours.
Any other questions or comments from the public?
Oops. Make a motion to accept application 24-206 as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Get your box out of here.
That was a good point. Why did-
Next item, number 24-207, Robert and Lisa Loophole, new windows and doors at 166 Main Street.
165.
So we don't get approval on a wrong house.
Good evening.
Evening.
165.
Evening.
So again, we're here for the hopeful acceptance of the plans to upgrade the windows from single pane to double pane for the efficiency, as well as the doors. The windows are vinyl, the doors are steel, and we've given a number of different possibilities for those windows, with grids, without grids.
I have two issues. One is, will the window trim be the same? Will it have a sill on it? Will the casings be the same weight? There's a molding on the head trim on the window.
The windows will be built to fit what's existing.
And my second issue is the front door. Front door, well, in the first place, I can't really tell from your application what the new front door is going to look like. The existing front door is beautiful, and I'm sure it's original to the house. So I would want to see that. If you feel you have to replace it, I would want to see it replicated. I think it's a key feature of the house.
So the photograph with the you're calling it a screen door. Is there glass or
It's a plexiglass.
plexiglass in that door?
Right.
And you want to remove that?
That would be removed, correct?
So the second picture, the one lower down, that's the original door,
That's correct.
or the door that you want to replace?
Correct.
And that four-panel door is clearly 19th century.
It is beautiful.
So what would you like to do?
The next picture is the proposal. So we wanted to just still have 4-panel, but put glass in the top,
Okay,
just to allow more light. It's very dark inside. And instead of, what's been happening is we leave the door open, so our guests, because it's a bed and breakfast, can come in and out, and it's just appealing to the side walkers. So we thought with glass, you can kind of peek inside, but not necessarily have the door open. So we also love the 4-panel, so we were proposing to do kind of a combination.
yeah, I have no problem with the glass. I can't tell from that picture what's happening with the width of the door, or the side lights, or the glass over the door.
And what about the hardware? Will you be able to replicate the hardware?
The surround would all be exactly the same. I think the only small clarification is we're trying to ask the glass maker if they can put the bars in the exact same places. So you see how on top there's only 2. I think the drawing shows 4, but what we have been told is that you can put those around. And then when it comes to hardware, currently it's a push code.
Oh,
That's the smaller knob that
little
doesn't
one.
really show well.
yeah.
The
Darker
little
spot
black
above
one
the
on the
handle.
Yeah, and the
upright is a
back set is smaller, so it's harder to hold onto it.
What was that, sir?
The back set on the lock set is closer to the door, it's harder to hold onto it.
Yes.
The-
Yes. So we wanted to propose to do a new, more modern lock system. It's the push system's pretty old, and so we wanted to upgrade it so it's easier for, again, our guests to come in and out. This is the primary door for our guests. We don't actually use it ourselves, but so we're trying to just make it really easy.
Okay, well, with the stipulation that the new front door matches the existing one, I have no problems.
With the inclusion of glass?
Yes.
Yes, replacing the long panels with glass.
And the color we are proposing, just white?
That's fine.
Okay.
Any other questions from the committee? Any questions from the public?
Hearing none. I'll make an application to approve application 24-207 as amended to stipulate that the new door will be what?
Will be the same as the old door, with the exception of the
Long
lock
panels with
set.
glass.
Long panels.
And the glass in the 2 upper panels.
Could I ask a point?
I agree. That's in the motion.
Okay.
Do we have to keep the storm door?
Pardon me?
Do we have to keep the storm door on it? Is that part of when you say the same as? Do we?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
That white frame around the door right now is a storm door, and
Yeah.
we're proposing to remove it. So when you write,
Well, that's fine.
you can okay, thank
It's
you.
your choice.
Yeah. It is a beautiful storm door. I love those old
Very
storm
nice.
doors.
It's yours.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 No problem.
Thank you.
Next item, continued certificate of appropriateness, number 24-195. Talking about a retaining wall at 5 Water Street. Good evening. And I would like to ask you, have you changed your application at all since the last time? I didn't see
No,
it.
as far as,
Well, we asked for a real stone wall. I don't
Yes.
see that.
Yeah.
We asked for 3 feet back from the sidewalk. I can't tell it that. and we were opposed to the modular blocks along the driveway.
Yes, yep. We have no problem moving it back to 3 feet, and we are going to use a natural stone
You're going to use what?
in the side of the driveway.
Oh, natural stone, a field stone that's going to look similar to
Yes.
this?
We don't have it in front of us, though.
What's that?
We don't have it in front of us. We don't have a rendering of it. In other words, you're asking us to approve what we haven't seen.
That's natural,
This is,
that's natural field stone.
It is?
Yes.
yes.
Terrific, thank you.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
We also have another picture on her phone of a wall that we did in Barnstable on 6A.
Yeah.
Do you want?
Sure.
This is more. It's bigger,
Yep.
Yeah.
looks more natural.
Right. Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice.
Yes, I think that's much.
And we appreciate it's going to be considerably more expensive, but it's going to look
I'm lost.
beautiful.
I didn't think that was natural stone.
And if I may, by pushing the wall further back, I realize that you're cutting more into the slope.
Yes.
So the grass is going to be up here and the wall's going to be down here. Is that correct?
The what?
The grass slopes down towards the street?
It does, but it's not, if we build a 3-foot high wall,
You
it's
can
gonna.
taper it back?
Yes.
Yes. I was going to say, I had that same issue with my house, and we just made a rockery out of it, and it looked pretty good, I thought.
So for our motion, we're approving a natural stone wall 3 feet back from the sidewalk.
Right.
And along the driveway.
And, yes, and along the driveway.
Well, it's all natural stone.
Yep, all
Yeah.
natural stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that same, the natural stone wall it'll be one wall now
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we'll continue it up the
Yeah,
driveway.
beautiful.
That'll look-
And will you be able to save any of those mature plantings, do you think?
That's the plan, to save, yes.
To save, and then,
I did them myself
oh,
over years.
oh, yes, so yeah,
They're beautiful.
you're emotionally attached to them, I understand that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
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 Right. So what's the motion? Oh, any comments from the public? We'll take the motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve application 24-195 as amended to include the fact that it will be natural stone and that will be 3 feet back from the sidewalk.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your
Yeah.
cooperation.
Yes, thank you very much.
We all want the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, the next is for committee discussion. Demolition by design or neglect is the first item. We're going to talk about that?
Yeah, quickly. Back in August, we asked the building commissioner if he agreed with our then outstanding proposal. He came back, the letter on August 19th, saying that he did agree. But then we went to the historical commission and they asked for a few changes. And I submitted them back. That's what you're looking at. But what we actually approved is here. And then I only agreed with the historical commission for certain of the changes, as I explained in the last meeting, because they wanted me to change the statute, and I don't think that was a good idea at all. So, and in abundance of caution, so I went back to what the building commissioner had approved. Seemed pretty logical. Now the building commissioner says he needs more time to consider. Well, he will still approve it. Because in the meantime, he sent something that basically, in my opinion, gutted the whole thing. So that's why I went back.
Yep.
So as things are going, this may well fall to you people to correct. or continue or whatever, because
totally
I won't be
confused.
here to help. Well, maybe it will be. Maybe you guys will change your mind. I don't know. But at any rate, so we are waiting for the building commissioner to tell us whether he agrees with what he already agreed to.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
Any comments, questions? Next item for discussion, a vote on sending Pete Williams as the builder architect representative,
I'd like to speak.
application to the select board.
I'd like to speak to that.
Okay,
Because of the rules, we were not able to, Pete and I have certain information we were not able to impart to you because we have to do things in the meeting. So bear with me, and I'm going to read most of this because I'm trying to pick my words fairly carefully, which I don't always do. Okay, this all stems, my comments stem from 179 Main Street, which, as you remember, we did. That's the shed that isn't actually a shed. It's protected to a house, but so be it. Okay, so I think everyone should view videos, obviously not right now, although I had a thought of doing partial at the meeting, but I didn't. Okay, everyone should view videos of 175 Main Street applications in our October 28th meeting and our November 25th meeting. And then see the video of the Select Board meeting of December 5. The portion that I request you to look at from the Select Board meeting starts about 5 minutes in and goes for about 7 minutes. Okay, so here's what happened at the Select Board. First, for context, and I give you this for context more than for content. The owner, Ms. Steyer, complained that at the 11:25 meeting, that he complained, I'm sorry. Anyway, she complained that at our meeting that the PE asked to see the inside of the house. You remember that? Okay. To the best of my knowledge, this is an occupied house.
I'm sorry, unoccupied house?
Unoccupied.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
It's one thing you go into somebody's house when it's occupied. When you go into a shell, I don't know. I think there's a difference, but so be it. And that she was upset and unaware that this would happen, stating that the communications had to improve. Parenthetically, the planning department ran the site visit. We did not. We were not invited to attend. I think there's an issue that perhaps we should have been invited, but we were not invited, so we weren't there. And as Pete advised at our October 25th meeting, this is the way the PE works all the time. When they're trying to determine whether a structure can be saved, they believe they have to go inside, etc., which always made sense to me. To the best of my knowledge, we have always gone into the building or attempted to go in. We had one that I think we were all running away from.
Yeah.
If we could go in, if the
If it was safe.
preservation expert can get in there, he wants to get in there. It's part of his job. At any rate, Ms. Steyer was upset. I could also say that Ann Miknovitz, who was her advisor, might have advised her that this would happen. But at any rate, that's what happened. So she complained at the meeting of the Select Board about the conduct of me and Pete at the October 25th meeting, at the November 25th meeting and at the October meeting too, as well, I think. And what she was saying was that she was using words like we were demeaning the process, and at least twice she said, quote, and when I give quotes, I'm taking this off of visual. I don't have it written, so if I get a quote word wrong here and there, forgive me, but I think I have the context right. She said that no one should have to go through this process. In my opinion, and it's strictly my opinion, these complaints were way overblown and generally misdirected, but she is entitled to her opinion. We serve the public, and she is a member of the public we serve. However, after the owner spoke, Ann Miknovitch spoke, and piled on with, in my opinion, ridiculous comments like that two members, obviously me and Pete, that two members were, and these are pretty close to quotes, total quotes, were totally out of control. That she had never seen anything like this in her 40 years coming before the Sandwich Historic District Committee. That our conduct was atrocious, intimidating, and rude. Well, that was a very emotional backed attack. Very undeserved, in my opinion. A presentation very short on facts, very long on unprovoked unkindness. For alleged facts, all I got from viewing the video, all I could get from it as to facts, everybody was adjectival. But what was actually you're complaining about? She said someone told the owner to, quote unquote, suck it up. I never heard that. I don't know. I never heard that. Had I heard it, I think I would have reacted, because we don't tell people to suck it up. That's not our style. We're generally very polite. And we also allegedly said that she could sell her house if she didn't like our decisions. Now, let me just digress slightly, because that was a misconstruction of something that was actually said. When Diane was saying it's a young couple, you know, we want to help them out, or something to that effect, I'm not quoting you, Diane, I said, that doesn't count because the owner can always sell their house. It had nothing to do with our decisions. So that was a misconstruction of, you know, take a germ of truth and twist it around, basically. I do not know why this a personal attack was made on Pete, except it gives the select board the excuse not to reappoint Pete. And as to me, I think I know the reason behind all this. But at any rate, later in the meeting, the select board then declined to appoint me as the alternate. This becomes my last meeting based on these attack. The owner has a right for opinion. So I'm assuming that Pete's going to walk into the same thing. And I can understand sort of why the town, you know, I have not, when I've disagreed with him, I've disagreed. And I think we have to. I think we have to stand up for what we do. But I can sort of understand it. I can't understand it in the context of what was presented at the meeting. But if they want to go back to the fact when I was very clearly upset with them because they apparently would not follow the law with respect to the boardwalk, even though I told them several times that they really had no fear of coming before us. We weren't going to try to relitigate the whole thing. I tried to make it very simple for them, but they, you know, the town is the town. Bureaucratic arrogance is bureaucratic arrogance. So they didn't want me, but what are they picking up Pete for? I couldn't follow it. I can't follow that. And I think that my suggestion on Pete, and Pete, you know, can have his own suggestions. I think that we should send a strong recommendation that they reappoint Pete. I don't want to discuss this in my presence, but you could discuss whether or not we would send mine back too. I don't mind going down losing, but I'd like to at least tell them what I think, which I will, by the way, do in any event. I think I'd like to do it in context to give people, you know, with a vote of confidence in what I've done over the last 5 years. So if Pete's willing to have himself subjected to this, I would think we might, and I wrote this out very briefly, I think we might say something to the effect of, we strongly recommend that George, quote unquote, Pete Williams be reappointed as the building architect representative on the Sandwich Historic District Committee. His experience and insights are a tremendous asset to the Sandwich Historic District Committee, and he has been courteous and respectful to all involved, as I believe we all have been. We have full confidence in Pete as the chair and as a member of the Sandwich Historic District Committee.
Fully agree.
I would agree with that.
Okay, so
If I may, could you tell me why the owner of 179 Main and the architect were at the select board meeting? What was their purpose?
Specifically for this one purpose.
to trash us,
Yeah. It was-
trash me and Pete.
Yeah. That was not incidental.
We could,
They had no other business there?
no, it was, I referred to it as a hit job.
Oh.
I saw Charlie Holden, oddly in church on Sunday, and I congratulated him on a hit job.
Good.
Well, this is all very unpleasant and
Unpleasant,
unnecessary.
Yeah.
yeah, unpleasant, but
Yeah.
Yep.
us.
Yes, unpleasant and unnecessary, that's what I mean. And clearly, we, as a board, we need the expertise of a builder or an architect.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the two remaining members, voting members of the board here, are inexperienced, to say the least. So
Well, I think that,
I would certainly want to keep both of you on board.
well, I think
Thank you.
the thing about experience would be a good opening paragraph as to why we're going to resubmit Mike's application.
Mm-hmm.
You would agree to that.
Yes.
Certainly.
Thank you. In that case, if as I said, I was thinking we'd discuss that, not in my presence, but if we are going to resubmit mine, then I would suggest we do something like the wording that we did for Pete.
If the two of you want to send that wording to me, I'd like to take point on drafting.
Say that again, please.
If you would like to send me the wording that you've just read out loud, or Miriam, if you want to send it, I'd like to take point on drafting both of the recommendations, please. Thank you.
I can send it to you if you just, you want to tell me your email as I do it? Because if you just tell me to start, it'll come up.
Begins with an R. R-I.
Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, R-I. R-I. Not yet. Give me a little more.
R-I-N-N.
R-I.
R-I-N-N-R-I-T-T-E-R. Rin Ritter.
Yep.
Thank you.
You.
I'd like to thank you, Corinne, for volunteering to do that. And
Absolutely.
We're all volunteers here. And
I sent.
Thank you.
As an incidentals aside, on the issue of Main Street, the subject kept coming up about how this affected the people's families, and I did say that is beyond our jurisdiction. And something that did not come up in the meeting, which I think should have, is the fact that they had only bought this building in July. I had never lived in it, so I think that's relevant.
And I also wished that at the last meeting where this topic came up, I wished I had emphasized my my understanding of how it is our job. We are tasked with saving old structures. I understand that. And if I seemed like I didn't care about saving something that was old, that was not my intention. I simply wanted to take a more pragmatic approach in this case.
Diane, the only problem I had with your position, I just make it this way. You were saying that, you know, they were a young couple, so you want to help them. When they were old couple, would deny them? No, I take offense to that.
No, I just thought the building was ugly and I wouldn't miss it, and I didn't think anyone else in town would either.
Okay, I think that's enough. The,
One thing I would say, and we'll leave it at that, Pete could share some insights, but I think he prefers not to, on the owner, and the reasons why this was a problem for her.
Aye.
But
right.
we are very clearly not criticizing the owner. Only the, Ms. Minkovitz, if it's considered a criticism, to quote someone.
Okay. Next item, review the 2025 calendar.
Sorry, we need to take a vote.
On the calendar?
A vote on the
On sending
recommendations?
Pete's name.
Oh, yes, thank you,
Well,
Miriam.
then a vote on both. So I'm gonna make,
Why don't you make the motion?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not supposed to
I'd like to make a motion to have Corinne draft a recommendation to the select board that we reappoint both Mike Sullivan and Peter Williams to their respective positions on the board.
and can I just add to that as part of the motion that Corinne would make that similar to the recommendation that I wrote and sent to her?
Yes,
Fair?
absolutely.
Who can second it?
And I second it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, yeah, I'm in favor. I'm definitely in favor.
Right. I won't go there.
No, let's not go anywhere.
Yeah, the next item is reviewing the 2025 calendar, and I've gone through it. I have no problems. Does anyone else?
I didn't know I'd be here. I don't even know that now, so I didn't take too much time on it.
It's pretty much as written, you know. Every other Monday and every third Monday,
Sure.
except when there's a holiday. I don't see any particular conflicts.
I've already stated that I will miss the first meeting of the new year and possibly another one in either February and or March.
Well, you-
I remember last year, none of us were here the month of March, and we had to do remote meetings.
Are you, I'm sorry, Diane, are you missing the 13th?
13th of January, yes.
Just give me a second to think about it. I read your,
Yeah.
but I didn't think of it. So,
I'll be missing the 13th. I will
I
be
just
back.
want to play this out.
Yeah,
So if Pete and I don't make it,
right.
that means Corinne's running the meeting
Absolutely.
with
Sabrina.
the new member and the new alternate. There'd be 3 people.
Right.
Well, were they already approved by the select board?
The alternate was.
the alternate-
The alternate was.
And Sabrina.
The other's elected.
and the other was
Sabrina was
elected.
elected.
So they haven't been sworn in yet. but
Oh, they have to be
So
sworn
you
in.
just, you would have a quorum. I was doubting it for a second, but you'd be fine. Good luck.
In regards to the committee processes for 2025, I would like to see us have a more consistent way of letting each other know when people won't make meetings so that we can ensure there is a quorum in advance, especially for our alternates' attendance.
Yeah, people should, when they're not coming, that should be a matter of policy, that they do advise Miriam, and then, but copy everybody too.
Correct,
So we all
yes.
sort of get the idea.
Yes.
That should be a procedure.
So we know, yeah, go ahead.
They have to notify Miriam, and she has to let the rest of us know.
Correct.
Okay.
We're not supposed to be sending emails to the whole board.
Actually, we can if it's something like scheduling. But I don't care. I don't want to ever try to justify my position on this issue.
I'd like to be able to ensure a quorum at least the Friday or Thursday before in alignment with when the agendas are received.
Yeah, we only, in my 5 years, we only missed quorum
That's it?
once.
Corinne's sounding like a chairperson, don't you think?
Know about that one, Diane.
I think that's a little sneaky.
Yeah, that's,
What happened?
we'll pass on that for now.
I was remarking how our newest member, Corinne, is sounding remarkably like a chairperson.
Or a consultant.
Chairperson.
Yeah. It only takes 2 minutes.
All right. Is there any other business?
Do we have to vote on the calendar or anything there?
Yes, so we have to vote on the calendar. Mike?
I make a motion that we do something with the calendar, like approve it.
Diane?
I second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
And
we have that last matter which was added today in the discussions between me and Leanne. I told her, you know, whatever was the right thing to do, do it. And she eventually put on this new matter, but we didn't touch it because we did it within the discussion of Pete's thing, and appropriately so, I believe. Deanne said she really liked that idea of doing it as part of discussing Pete's appointment.
All right, so no action
I
there.
have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn at 7:28.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.